Hey, hello and welcome. My name is Miss Tina and you are watching Squadziland, the occasional dose of my reviews, reactions and opinions. Today I'm going to react to the latest chapter of One Piece, chapter 1167 I believe, but yeah, 67. I wasn't really sure about that. It has been a very long and tiring week, and it seems like tiring weeks are just coming up as December arrives, but yeah, I mean, it's not pre-Christmas thing. It's just that uh, work. Oh boy. But so if I look tired or sad a bit, it's because it's a mixture of both. I mean, I'm tired like this and that and everything else too, but I'm not tired of One Piece. So I think it's about time that we go back to the flashback and see what happened to Harald, Loki, and I think that we are very close to arriving at the end of the flashback, which just might mean that this year the flashback will end and next year is going to be all about the fight on Elbaf, and I think next week Elbaf will close. I'm not sure if it will, but I kind of think so, because there's nothing much left to do except for winning the fight, which is very interesting, by the way. So it has been a great flashback so far. Let's see what Oda has store for us today too. And there is no break next week, which means there's going to be a next week chapter too. I'm so excited. Okay, so chapter 1167, Ida's son, which is very sad, because it might mean that Ida is going to die. I mean, in One Piece, moms are not survivors. Okay, and we can see cover request by Ideal Sanji. A cat is scolded for stealing a book, but Jen and Nojiko are mad, and the book says Fish Encyclopedia. Okay, it's quite cute. And they are reminded of Nami, of course. And you know, the lady in the front with the big bushy hair, I don't know. I think she was a character on the island, right? I might recognize her, I'm not quite sure. And of course the guy whom the cat stole from. It's nice to see Nojiko, and again, I mean, they are cool characters. Again, it's really one of those characters you are like, yeah. But you know what? I have to pause for just for a moment that moms are very great and extraordinary in One Piece, but they are extraordinarily absent at the same time, but they are pretty great. But dads especially, and it's so weird that, you know, in One Piece, just like in whatchamacallit, that movie, you know, with Chris Pratt, Defenders of the Galaxy. I'm sorry, the English name just Guardians. Yes, Guardians of the Galaxy. You know, it's like, I might not be your dad, but I am your daddy, or something like that. And I think that One Piece is pretty good in this stuff. I mean, the father-son relationships are contrasted with the sort of adopted father and son relationships, and I always love to see that. Okay, so 33 years ago, 5 years after God Valley, I could have sworn pirates were approaching off the shore. And Morgan is like, But there was something huge, shadowy, emerging from the west behind them. It's like as if they were making up stories. Pirates were approaching off the shore, but there was something huge and shadowy emerging from the mist behind them. I was thinking, maybe I am wrong, but you know what? We were talking about the fog. You know, after Thriller Bark ended, I'm bringing Thriller Bark back because, you know, we kind of suspected that the remnants of God Valley are actually the floating island or the floating Thriller Barks. You know, there were some issues there. And, you know, the ending of it was that there was a huge mist and there was a character there. Maybe Well, okay, I'm just guessing, you know. Who knows? Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. Let's just focus on Impel Down, the underwater prison Impel Down. It's always nice to visit there. One of my favorite arcs, actually. Everything just went kaboom after that. Our ship was in ruins before we knew it. We were nothing but fish food. Sure it wasn't a Sea King attack? No way. It was shaped like a human. And one of the prisoners is scared. Two of them are just laughing off as a story. Don't tell me you were in the infamous waters of the Florian Tide. Yes, that's what I'm talking. Fat chance, we don't fish near that region. Everyone knows to avoid it. Anyway, that monstrous thing was definitely human-like. You know, in the Florian Triangle, it wasn't human-like. It had like that shape, I think. During this period, a rumor began to circulate among the Grand Line countries. They said a monster lurked deep in the foggy seas, targeting pirate ships. I think that's Harald. And they're like, whoa. The identity of that monster was none other than Harald. Few who sailed those waters had ever seen a giant with their own eyes. So to them, he was nothing less than the very embodiment of fear. Harald now worked in the shadows to back up the navy as part of his atonement for the last 1,000 years of history. Meanwhile, the pirates who had gone their separate ways after God Valley continued to rise in prominence. And over the next decade or so, each of them would peak to become a defining face of their generation. And we can see Kaido with his evil face, we can see Whitebeard with his angry face, and we can see Big Mom turning into a very, very crazy woman. Most of these pirates simply clashed over territory, and you can see Shiki and the other dude, I don't know his name, sorry about that. It just didn't stick with me. However, one crew broke through all the others and achieved a feat long believed impossible. They circumnavigated the entire world. You can see the Gold Roger's ship. They were hailed as the crew of the King of the Pirates, Gold Roger. And you can see Buggy and Shanks, of course, and Roger and everyone really in the crew. The public execution of the captured Pirate King was meant to serve as a spectacle, a display of the world government's power. However, the world was plunged into even greater turmoil as countless souls set out in pursuit of the vast treasure Roger left behind, the One Piece. No one had anticipated the advent of the Great Pirate Era. Navy headquarters found itself caught off guard. As a result, more than 10 giants were drafted into the Marines from all over the world in an effort to consolidate strength. During this stretch of time, Harald waited on the Navy hand and foot. Did you see how huge he was? He's an ancient giant. I want to make him my slave. Yeah, of course you do. And that very year, he was finally granted formal permission to visit the Holy Land. A shallow sea contract? That is correct, says, I think, Valkyrie. Consider yourself the right hand of the God's knight. God's steel. Okay, and he got the crest and everything. It is a great honor. Yeah, of course it is. There are 3 levels of contract. Okay, we are getting some lore here. The shallow sea contract is more minor pact. The deep sea and the deep sea contracts are reserved for those who are to be bound fully to the true God. Only 13 individuals in the entire world receive that privilege. He's asking, what do you mean by God? Okay, so 13 individuals are in the deep sea and deep sea contracts, or are 13 only in the deep sea contracts? Interesting. And I believe that the 13 is including them, the 5 others. Okay, interesting. You will only come to know the greatest depths of this world on the day you become a full knight of God. Could Alba become a member nation then? Naturally, Harold. At that point, the entire world would be clamoring to welcome. What a lie. I mean, politicians, what can you expect? I'm grateful for this opportunity to prove myself, he says. The Knights Temple, Shangara, domain of the gods, and we can see Captain of the Knights of God, Figel and Family, Saint Garling. And he's like, He looks weird. What is the Great One planning? He asks. You're gonna obey us even though you're king of Elbaf? And we can see Shamrock, I believe. Of course, just say the word. We will keep a long-distance transponder on hand, and call if we need you. We have a need of you. You will be free to travel surface world, but you are forbidden to speak of our dealings. He's like, understood. 20 years ago, Yugo Kingdom, Fishman Island. I haven't laughed this hard in a long time, Neptune. And he's going there on Fishman Island? Me too, Paljamon. We both have our fair share of headaches, don't we? To be honest, I don't think your son is that bad deep down, he says. Let's not forget what your youth was like. And he's like, well, when you put it like that, I'm just being brutally honest. Anyway, did I tell you a fortune teller predicted I would have a daughter in 4 years, Jaman? And he's like, When the time is right, why don't we betroth Loki to my future daughter? Oh my God. Now you are going too far. Cut it out. Hey, don't write her off so fast. She's not gonna be just any old mermaid. My daughter might well be born with a power no one else could ever hope to handle, Jaman. You know what? I don't understand Neptune here. He's like, here's my daughter. She will have great power, and we should join hands, and you should have her because she has great powers. Dude, I don't get the concept that he loves her daughter and he's protective, and he's like, ooh, remember on Fishman Island, he was like, ooh, that's great power, what should we do? And it is bad, etc., etc. And still, he's like, and it's a national secret, of course, that she's a weapon of destruction. And he's like, you know what, Harald? Well, now, that does sound like a perfect match. Let's have a toast. Here's to the futures of my mischievous troublemaker and your little Mosa Mosa. Don't call her that. She won't be shaggy. And just like, it was just like Roger, yeah. And we can see cute, small brothers and Otto Hime as well. That's lovely. That same year, our rivalry, Elbaf. Don't mention it. You are welcome to live freely here, so thanks bunch. Actually, there is one thing I would like to ask. What is it? If we get other learned folks on Elbaf to help, would you be willing to open a school here? He's like, a school, huh? That's a nice idea. 15 years ago, a major incident occurred at the Holy Land of Marijoa. My slaves are running away! The cells are broken! Hurry! Do you want to be their pet forever? Oh, and Fisher Tiger is there. Okay. Fisher Tiger incident. Shift. Damn it. That's a god's night. Ooh. Is that Shanks or Shamrock? I never know that. Listen, the armory will be left unlocked for you. I'll tell you the location. That's Shanks. Wah. Gunpowder. Hurry, sis. And Sonia. Okay. She's escaping too. Poor Hancock. There's someone out there. Someone fighting to free us from this hell. Hurry, Cruella. You have to run. This attack on the Holy Land was carried out by Fisher Tiger. In the wake of this incident, he would go on to become captain of the Sun some pirates, and we can see, this picture was shown to us when Boa and her sisters were escaping, and now it's in a better drawing. I have to go back just to make sure that that was Shanks, I believe. When, Shanks was there for a time being, that he was there on Holy Land of Marijuana. He was like, you know what, just get out of here. Either that or it was Shamrock. I don't think it was Shamrock, it had to be Shanks. Sounds like it was pretty rough, says Harald. They say someone with the government must have left the armory open for them. Now it's up to us to find the culprit. I can't wait to execute them. There's someone I want to introduce you to, Harald. His name is Shanks. Okay, Shanks. There you go. Huh? He's like, huh? He's Shamrock's younger brother. They were separated a long time ago due to circumstances. He has suffered many hardships in the surface world. If he were to form a deep-sea contract, I believe he would make a great asset on par with Shamrock. For the time being, however, he has been given the rank of God's Steel, just like you. I know I said the same thing when I first met Shamrock too, but I can't shake off the feeling that I have met you before. Okay, and Shanks has his scar at the end. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. You're just some giant commoner from the surface. Don't act so familiar with me. I was blessed from the birth with Figureland blood in my veins. Have no doubts, I'm going to become Knights of God before you. Guess I mistook you for someone else then. And he's like, damn it. Come on, Shamrock. I wish to deepen my knowledge of the Holy Land, and I shall apprehend the traitor to claim the credit I deserve. Are there any leads? Oh, Shanks, you are playing such a double game. I like your way of thinking. You know what? So Shanks has decided after how do I say it? I can almost see Shanks's plan, and I never imagined that we would see Shanks' flashback sort of in this flashback. I mean, wow, this is just truly great. I want to put the story together. The chapter is sort of ending, but I wanted to put it together. So Shanks became, after Roger's death, he came back to the Holy Land, and he was like, this and that happened, and most likely he wasn't, I don't know if he ever said that he was a warrior ship or not, but wow, okay, sorry. It can wait till your wounds are fully healed, Shanks. You cannot fathom the anguish of having the last 24 years of your life wasted. No wonder the rest of the world seems so alien to me, he says. God's Steel devotee, Figureland family, Saint Shanks, and Saint Shamrock. I hated everything down there. And Harald is like, He's very, very suspicious. That same year, the fishing village on Albaf. It's no good. My medical knowledge is too limited. Let's call Harald and see if he can get us in touch with a more skilled doctor. Don't. He has got a lot on his plate now. Okay, so she's sick. I mean, the chapter is titled after Ida, so what's the point of fostering a network with the world government if we don't use it? And she's like, I can recover on my own half. You keep saying that, but you are getting weaker day by day. You have to get better. Harald will be heartbroken if you don't, Mato, keep the tavern open. No way, how can I when you are sick? You are this sick, Ida. Wherever Harald's home, he always goes straight to the elders and begs them to allow you to be legally married. That fool. He knows I'm happy with my tavern. I enjoy befriending sailors from all over the world, she says. That's why you are sick. It may not much, but I feel like I'm helping Harald by doing that. Hey, foreign hag. What? Loki's here. Loki, cook up this meat for the old hag, will ya? Foreign hag? The tavern's main hangout spot. I want her to reopen it. Good grief, that troublemaker has grown out of the hand. I'm glad you have been able to keep him in line. Even Harshudin and his friends away looking for a doctor. Your boys really love you. And she's like, everyone's blowing this out of proportions. I'll be fine, but it does make me sad, smile. You know, Loki in his own way is happy too. Alba of Alcohol Village, hometown of Loki's birth mother. How? What'd you just say? We were talking about how utterly unbearable it would be to let that foreign bitch worm her way into the royal family. You are with us, right, Loki? We are Esther's relatives. She was Harald's true wife. We can't let anyone have her claim on the inheritance. That's why I slip her a dose of poison. This stuff is fatal. Her days are numbered. Mato, you cannot hold off Rinnigo and Harald anymore. On it. She's like, we may not be related by blood, but I see him the same way as I do Hanshudin. Loki is still cute, my cute little son. And Loki is like, Loki, hey, Ida isn't really going to die, right? I still remember my birth mother. She hated me. She had me thrown into the realm of the dead. Who gives a shit about inheritance? Your family, your whole family is nothing but trash. Now answer. Ida won't actually die, right? She's the only mother I have ever known. And he's remembering, I bet you must get pretty lonely, right, Loki? Wouldn't it be better to stay with us? His true feelings pour out. Wow, this chapter has been all over the place in a very, very good way. This last picture, not the last picture of Loki, but this picture when he's holding and crushing that dude. It's brilliant. It's such a powerful picture. And such a Loki picture too, with the horns and everything. It's amazing. Amazing. Such a long way he has come. And everyone knows what to do. And wow. I don't know how much Harald hears of this and how much he believes, but wow, what a flashback. We are not ending the flashback just yet, which is good. I don't know how much or how many chapters we have this year. I mean, I believe there is going to be one next week and maybe one more. So maybe 2 or 3 more. I am very happy about this. I'm happy about having One Piece, having been able to reading it to you, and I hope that it will continue in the future because I love it. I really love it, and it's such a great story. I was talking at the beginning of the chapter, I was talking about adopted fathers and father figures, but these adopted mother figures too are very brilliant in One Piece. I have to admit that. I mean, there were many adopted mother figures too. I mean, Dada and Nami's mother, Bearmare too. But still, it's like, it's really just great. I really love this chapter. What are your thoughts on it? If you have any ideas to share with me or, comments, feel free to use the comment section. And if you like this video, then you know what to do. Thank you very much for joining me this week too. And I hope that we can see each other next time. Until then, bye-bye.